All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashum, Yahushua, Bahashum, Rakak Wadash. I want to give double honors to my apostle and elders, Wade Millstone, who teach very well where I learned this truth from. His citation out there to the hopeful lake, who continue to push this word in our truth, faith, and sincerity. And also, Shalom to all the men, women, and children who sincerely believe upon the words of Yahweh, Yahushua. And today, man, just basically getting on what time that we are in, man. Now we're in the time of the disposing of the devil, but also revealing his wicked holidays, man. Because again, Groundhogs Day was the thing that we was made to celebrate in school. You know, I remember in kindergarten, they used to make you draw pictures of a groundhog. Would it be 6 more weeks of darkness, or would it be 6 weeks and it's going to turn light? Guess what, man? These devils is actually doing rituals upon these people without them even knowing. You know, because we can go to Groundhog Day is in deeply rooted tradition originating from Pennsylvania German settlers, which there was a lot of witches, man. You know, that's why back then it was, she's a witch. That shit was true. You know, even though, you know, some women got caught up in it, but a lot of women who got drowned and burnt and things like that, they was doing strange things. And even though nowadays they want you to have mercy upon these people, but guess what? These people are wicked. Even when you go into the guys that be up there announcing it, they up there in all black. You know, really, they're just wizards. Real quick, let's go ahead and get this in Leviticus 19 and verse. I'm gonna start at verse 30. It says, "Ye shall keep my Sabbath and reference my sanctuary. I am the Lord Yahweh Shai." Yes, and apart on these days that these wicked days land on, a lot of times they actually land on the Sabbath. Like today is the Sabbath, man. You know. But instead of people reverencing the Lord, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shai, people are reverencing a damn groundhog, not knowing that this devil is putting rituals upon you. Continuing on, regard not them that have familiar spirits, neither seek after wizards. And that's what those guys who announce it are. They fucking wizards, man. Because you don't see them all year, but all of a sudden they finna come up and say a poem about how the groundhog seen the shadow, and now it's 6 more weeks of darkness, man. You know, that's what it's all about. These devil pushing forth enchantments upon our people. Again, when we was younger, they had us celebrating, man. Oh, it's going to be winter. You know, oh no, this is going to be spring early. You know, not knowing that Yahweh Shai, he's controlling all these things, man. You know, not a damn groundhog. Continuing on, though, it says, to be defiled by them, I am the Lord your power. So even these wicked holidays, you celebrating Christmas, you wearing black with the pilgrim hat for Groundhog Day. That's a part of you referencing the wicked, and ultimately you're being defiled by their ways. You know, let's go ahead and go back into this. It says, Pennsylvania German settlers in the 18th and 19th centuries based on ancient European weather lore. It stems from Candlemas. Now let's see what that word Candlemas goes back into, man. The word Candlemas, celebrated on February 2nd, the same day as Groundhog's Day, which that's all Groundhog's Day is, Candlemas. It says, is a pagan festival of Limburg, is a major Sabbath in witchcraft, marking the midway point between the winter solstice and the spring equinox. So ultimately, we already know that spring equinox is the time of Passover, but at the same time, these devils are preparing their wicked rituals, man. And you gotta realize damn near every holiday and every Sabbath that lands on with us, that's the same Sabbath that these devils are throwing up curses upon our people, throwing up rituals, sacrificing animals, eating babies and all that. You know, and this also took a long time for you people to realize that these people who are in control, they're wicked. It took Nicki Minaj to tell you guys that people are eating babies when we've been telling you guys this the whole damn time. But at the same time, you guys are sleep and ultimately in the American dream, man. You guys are docile about what's really going on upon the planet Earth, you know? Because why? A lot of people don't do your damn research. Let's continue on. There's a major Sabbath. The Lord said, keep his Sabbath holy. And you doing Groundhogs Day today, that's not holy, man. This guy, he's basically putting a ritual, doing a ceremony amongst all these people. That's why it's a big thing in the news. And again, it's up there in Pennsylvania because, again, back during the 18th and 17th century and the 19th century, these people was actually doing wicked rituals. And it was certain Christians that was there that put them down because they knew it was not of the Lord. But as time goes on and the wicked got more control, it became acceptable unto you people. And you people don't realize the origin of where these different things come from. Continuing on though. It says it is a time for purification, initiation into you being wicked, honoring the goddess Bridget, and blessing candles for the year, focusing on the return of light and the reawakening of nature. And ultimately, these devils do this because they trying to restart that Phoenix. Try to get that same love they had back in the Roman Empire, that same love they had in the 1950s, not knowing that no matter what ritual you do, no matter how many animals and things that you sacrifice, you're still going to go down. And no matter if these people believe it or not, it's written in biblical prophecy that the Lord will destroy the wicked and all their wicked holidays, man. Because ain't nothing holy about it. Continuing on. Witchcraft and traditional rituals. Candle making blessings. Many covens and solitary practitioners make and bless all the candles they will use for the upcoming year. And it's that light, the light of the wicked, the illuminated ones, because that goes back into what? Illuminati. And this was the Illuminati trust in, that left-handed energy. That's what those candles represent. Let's go ahead and get something real quick before I continue on. Let's go to Isaiah 47 real quick. Because no matter what you do, you still going to go down. This is the book of Isaiah 47, and I'm going to get to the point at verse 10. Matter of fact, let's start at verse 9. Matter of fact, 8. Get all it. It says, therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures that dwellest carelessly, that sayest, I am. It's like that says in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. So these devils with their enchantments, they thinking that they're going to live forever. You think each ritual that you do next year, that's another year added for your wickedness to continue. Not knowing that the Lord is just counting your days, man. Continuing on. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood, they shall come upon thee in their perfection. For the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. And yes, Groundhogs Day, man, you got kids practicing it. They coupling. They don't know what's going on. That's an enchantment that you pull upon our people. That's a curriculum that they teach you in the 4th, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, all through elementary. We might have, no, man, that is not of the Lord. But again, through the time of living in Babylon the Great, a lot of people's minds are confused and they're not aware of the deeds and the works of the wicked. Continuing on though, it says, for thou trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. Yes, you trusting in Groundhogs Day. There was wizards and warlocks and all black up there holding a damn rat, a big rodent. They honoring this thing more than they honor Yahweh Shah today. That should piss you off, man. All praise is supposed to go into the Lord, but you giving praises to a damn rodent. And 9 times out of 10, we don't know what they do with it. They might sacrifice and eat it. Continuing on. It says, thou hast said, none seeth me, thy wisdom and thy knowledge hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. And that's it. You basically saying that Yahweh Shah is nothing and that you are the power of the universe, not knowing that the Lord set you up just so he can cast you down. So the illuminated ones who's on this left-hand energy, the Lord telling you to keep on blessing those counters, keep on doing what you're going to do. Because at the end of the day, the Lord going to take your ass down. Therefore shall evil come upon thee, and thou shalt know from whence it riseth. Yes, because you don't think Yahweh Shah going to destroy you, but he is, man. You say, I thought that I was all together as one as thyself. You thought the Lord was with Groundhogs Day, Valentine's Day, and all these wicked things instead of honoring the power that made heavens and earth, bro. Continuing on, though. It says, therefore shall evil come upon thee, and thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee, and thou shalt not be able to put it off. Yes, through your witchcraft, you're not going to be able to light that candle anymore. Continuing on. And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Stand not with thine enchantments. In the multitude of thy sorceries, those wizards, continuing on, wherein thou hast labored for from thy youth. And that's why they push this on the kids, man. How much you want to bet 9 times out of 10 kids are drawing and reverencing Groundhogs Day and hanging them up upon the wall? And the parents just, oh, you drew this baby not knowing the deeper meaning behind it. And it just shows you these enchantments have been fucking us up, man. This is like it for the language. And that's why we also got to say the water Yahweh Shemi Awashah for shining light upon these wizards and warlocks so we know what not to do, man. You know, when the Lord comes, we're going to say, Lord, that was them. You know, that was them that deceived the whole people, the reverence and the damn wrote it on this day, man. Lord, we was praising your name on this day. Continuing on, though. Stand not with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so, thou shalt be able to profit. If so, thou mayest prevail. So you raising up these warlocks, and this is a time of initiation. Where's he getting his wicked garments, you know? A wizard, he's living up to a warlock. These are the times that Esau is basically upgrading their wicked deeds. And as this day, man, it's the Sabbath. Ultimately, man, we have to put up curses too, man, because they doing the same thing upon us. Pull up curses and pray that the Lord continue to destroy the philosophy of the wicked in these wicked holidays, man. You know, because again, this is a whole 2-hour, 3-hour newscast today that was dedicated to eroding. How crazy can these people be in these latter days, man? Now art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let not the astrologers and the stargazers and the monthly prognosticators, and this what this is. This is a major Sabbath in their time, and it's the beginning of the month. Those wizards came out there and announced winter, you know? They announced darkness because that's what that winter represents. Continuing on, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save you from the things that shall come upon thee, in which they will not. They will not save you from the intercontinental ballistic missiles and ultimately from the wrath of Yahweh Shemi Awashah. So let's go back into this. Going back into the witchcraft traditions, the candle making and the blessings, honoring Bridget, creating bright crosses from straw or wheat to hang for protection, as well as Bridget's bed for fertility, are common practices. Seed blessing, a ritual for blessing seeds for the upcoming planting season, purification, lighting candles, and that's pretty much it on that. You know, just showing you how these devils, instead of honoring the Heavenly Father, they're basically honoring Arodi and the spirit of Bridget and Candlemas. That's all this is. It's nothing new. But at the same time, we're supposed to stay away from these wicked things and these wicked practices. Let's go ahead and get a couple more for our end off. Let's go to Deuteronomy 18. And I'm going to jump down to verse... please bear with me. Let's start at verse 10. It says, there shall not be found among you any that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire. Now, we know that goes back into, you know, people going to Planned Parenthood, which ultimately goes back into that devil, left-sided energy Moloch, you know, continuing on, or use divinations, or observer of times, or an enchantment, or a witch, or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer. For all that do these things, so if everybody who's celebrating Groundhogs Day, are an abomination unto the Lord. So this is an abomination. You referencing a damn rat. That's an abominable food. You can't eat no groundhog. You know, even though they have a beautiful thing to do upon the planet Earth, but it's not meant for you to kill them and eat them. You know, I even reference them. That's like a dirty animal. Continuing on, it says, to the Lord thy power, Yahweh Shemi Awashah, they'll drive them out from before thee. Yes, so the Lord, he's driving out this wicked spirit. That's why nobody is really referencing it. But again, they dedicated this whole day unto it. It was a 3-4 hour program today in Pennsylvania honoring a rat. And there's a poem they say, man. He came out the hole and seen darkness in 6 more days of winter. It's a poem similar to that, and which really is an enchantment that they enchant upon the people, and then the crowd goes wild when they hear that winter is still coming, man. You know, you don't supposed to love the winter. You know, you're supposed to want to fiend for the summertime. You want to fiend for life. But they trying to flip it. We preparing for life. No, man. You guys are preparing for death. And again, this is why this holiday is exalted here in these latter days. So yeah, I just pray that this video is edifying. I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to my apostle and elders, great millstone. And